There's never been a better time to have Sirius XM. With over 140 channels in your vehicle, your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.
And what's going on, everybody? And thanks for tuning in to another lunchtime learning session here on CMA Connected, presented by Sirius XM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. And on today's show, I love ending off the week. First of all, TGIF, hope everybody has a great long weekend. We've been waiting for this one for a long time. We all have live in different areas. So, maximize the opportunities that you have in your local area. Spend some time with family, enjoy the long weekend. But before I let you go for the weekend, we got to tune in and check in, rather, with our friends at AAMP Global, more specifically, Mr. Jeff Smith. Now, I always botch his title, so I'm not going to try saying his title properly. I'm going to let him say his title because apparently I've said it 5 different ways, and I don't want to mess that up again. But we have a treat today, folks, because today we get to kind of get a glimpse of what goes on at AAMP. We have all different types of scenarios that we like to present to you guys. This one is one of my favorite scenarios, and that is we get a look behind the scenes in the shop. That's right, in the shop. We're going to get a chance to take a tour of their, maybe not their shop, but at least the project vehicle that they've been working on. You've seen at the top of the show that ad commercial that we're running with PAC and that Jeep. Now, I think that might be the very same Jeep that we're going to take a closer look at today. So let's get to Florida over at AAMP Global and connect with our friend there, Mr. Jeff Smith, and bring him on the show. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, Ben. What's going on, buddy?
See, I knew you were going to do something funny like this. So as you can see, if you're looking, there's 2 screens, and I'm going to guess we're going to spend some time on that gorgeous i10 unit that I see on the screen right now. But you're also sitting in a whip. Is that the same one that was in the video?
It is. This is our company show vehicle. This is our 2019 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. We take this vehicle all over the United States to lots of the Jeep festivals and many of the different trade shows is going to be coming up very soon to really show people a real world aspect of how our parts integrate into the Jeep and how you can accessorize your customers' Jeeps and really let them see, because when you're sitting behind a computer, you don't always get to really understand the feature set. But now that we have this demo vehicle, Ben, it really blows people's mind when they can really see it face to face.
Oh, there's nothing that beats a demo vehicle. I always, preach that when it comes to giving your customers the ultimate experience and really what the closest sense of what they're actually going to have as a final product once installed. And that's not a knock to, soundboards or anything like that. But given the option, I think you'll agree with me, Jeff, that the vehicle is the way to go.
Right, 100%. So let me just do a quick little walk around, and then we'll come back and jump into the screen.
Wait, where are you? I want to know where you're broadcasting. Where exactly are you?
Right now, I'm actually coming from our engineering / video / trade shows / work area.
Okay,
Workspace. This is pretty much where I live the majority of the time. So this is a multi-use area right now. We're in what we call the video bay. On the front side of this bay is our vehicle bay, where we physically work on our engineering projects and shoot some of the videos that you can see on our YouTube AAMP Global channel, AAMP University channel. In here is where we do a lot of our still photography and do videos like what we're doing here today. So when we walk around, you'll see lots of lighting and tripods and things like that. And then there's a little shop area. If we have a couple minutes, I might even show you the new little fab shop area that we just finished up.
Ooh, we always love fab. Okay, let's get started. Why don't you show us this vehicle real quick?
All right, come with me. We're gonna jump on the camcorder here and go for a little trip.
I mean, automatically we get a sense that AAMP, Stinger, all the brands take this seriously if you're going to build a demo vehicle specifically for this segment.
So this is our 2019 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. I mean, completely lifted, 40-inch tires on it. Falcon suspension, winch, and everything else. We have lots of our underbody lighting. We have our EchoMaster PCAM BS1 blind spot cameras. We have, this is pictures of our Stinger RGB BUB kit. We make these underbody rock light kits available in 4-piece and 8-piece kits. We also have our whips. These are the whips that we talked about previously in some of the episodes of CMA Live. These whips are very popular. They're full RGB. They're flexible. We have 2 of these on the back. They're quick release also. So you can literally just pop them off and then put them back on with a single connection band. So these whips are very popular out in the marketplace. Kind of a preview of our new vehicle-specific subwoofer enclosure that we're going to make for the Jeep JL and Jeep JT. I'm sorry, JL and JK. This is a 12-inch subwoofer that's co-branded between our Stinger and Phoenix Gold line. But you guys see us do this on a regular basis, where we blend different companies together for these type of products. And then in here, this is the showcase of the back of the Jeep. This is our Phoenix Gold amplifiers here, MX series, a very small subcompact series of amplifiers. This is an 800-watt monoblock that plays the 12-inch subwoofer here. And then we have the MX 600.4 playing the Phoenix Gold speakers in the sound bar and in the dash and in the lower dash. Here we have our Stinger X-Series fuse blocks, the XF-DB108. These fuse blocks can be used as single individual fuses, or they can be linked together to make custom distribution from a single, 2 fuses, 3 fuses, up to as many fuses as you want with the bus bar system to connect and link these guys together. This is a patented fuse holder that comes from our Stinger side of the business. Now, with all the lighting in the vehicle,
wow, there's more. Holy cow!
To showcase off our LED systems. So all the different LED systems in the vehicle. So there's 8 LEDs with the rock lights in the back of the vehicle. There's 8 across the front of the vehicle. There's 4 down each side. And then there's 4 under the front of the dash and 4 under the rear seat. So this thing is a complete light show when we go to different events. And all of the controllers for the different LED systems and the fuses for everything makes it completely serviceable when we're out in the marketplace, but also shows off to our dealers our installation accessories, our RGB lighting capabilities in any of these Jeeps and trucks and any of the off-road capabilities, just to, give us a good show presence with these particular Jeep Wrangler.
Man, that is a really clean install, and I've never seen light controllers integrated into a display.
Yeah, they look so nice, man. We just want to show them off. So we
absolutely.
Even the interior is custom built with the Stinger logo and the stitching and everything in the seats. Yeah, we worked really hard, and then you can see the lighting under the seats and things like that. Yeah, pretty cool.
God, I got to tell you, Jeff, all you're making me miss is, visiting shops and going to events in person, dude. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're giving me the custom one-on-one tour here, but what I really wish I was doing was actually there with you, and you'd be cranking the tunes and showing me exactly what that system can do. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take this experience.
All right. So like I said, this is what we kind of take around to all the different trade show events, to really show the Jeepers what's out there. And we always encourage our dealers, to create a demo environment so that customers can really get a better grip on what the actual product works like, fits in their vehicle, and how it functions. There's one more very unique Jeep product that is exclusive to our brand here under the EchoMaster brand. I'm going to flip my camera here one time, Ben.
Yeah, I really appreciate Jeff doing this. This is what's that?
So this is a mirror that is designed specifically for the Jeep Wrangler application. This is from our EchoMaster family of products, safety products. This is the PMK JP01 Clear View mirror system. Now, think about this. Think about how many Jeeps you've seen with soft tops, with the short slanted tops. They have a big fifth wheel spare tire on the back, and you can't clearly see out of the back of the vehicle, right? So here you can see my hand, you can see the rear seats, and you see all the lighting and computer that we're using for video shooting today. But imagine if you needed to see a clear view out of the vehicle. You can simply flip the dimmer flap, and here the tailgate camera is outside. It's showing the back of the vehicle. But you can literally, with a high-definition camera, see completely out of the back of the vehicle. So it bypasses anything inside the vehicle and gives you a clear view outside of the vehicle itself.
That is a very really nice feature. Right? Really cool feature.
Just like how you can tilt a mirror up and down when you're looking at it, you can physically get into the mirror screen itself, and you can adjust up and down the vertical image just like you were tilting the camera.
And I'm going to guess that, of course, is that the factory camera or an EchoMaster camera?
This is, of course, a high-definition EchoMaster camera. So since we actually are the manufacturer and we build all these things to give it the best look, fit, and finish, we try to make sure high-definition resolution is used in all of these products.
Very slick. If you didn't mention it to me, that almost looks OE, that mirror.
Yeah, it's one of those things that definitely sets us apart from some of the other guys, because it allows us to really get in and be able to do some custom things that some of the other manufacturers aren't doing. Within our company, Ben, there's a lot of engineering guys on the EchoMaster side and other parts of our company that are really big Jeepers. So being able to have their influence in our products and be able to come up with these really neat products is a big deal for us. So
before we get into the elephant in the room, or should I say giant 10-inch screen in the room, what part number is the red rubber ducky?
So here's the thing about the red rubber duck. So in the Jeep world, these little rubber ducks pop up in all these different events because that's a way of the Jeepers going around to a vehicle and they place a duck in your vehicle if they like your vehicle. So that's a little symbol for the Jeep world. So yeah, so we have our
that's
own
like a bro.
Yeah, exactly. So we have our own little Stinger off-road branded little ducks that we hand out at different events and things like that. So
sweet. Yeah. All right, cool.
Cool.
I love the fact you took the time to give us a real sense of all the different products, accessories, options that AMP has under all the different brands for Jeep, because as for Jeep enthusiasts, you're basically AAMP Global offers quite a lot of solutions for the store, for the retailer, right? If you got those Jeep enthusiasts. So I think that's really
all
cool.
Of the products that we offer, I shouldn't say all of them, the majority of the products that give your consumer features and comforts and things they want to show off, all center all back around to be in one big, clean, clear ecosystem for their off-road use. Starting with, of course, the high 10 is where we're going to go here. But the high 10 is a center point of everything, and all the features and functions that it gives the owner of the vehicle is going to take them miles above and beyond any other application for having a source unit in the vehicle.
So one last comment I'm going to say before we dive into this, because I know we're going to go pretty deep on this. for the folks watching for the first time, yes, we are with AAMP Global. Yes, that says Stinger on it. And yes, that's a head unit. So can you just give us a little bit of background of what, how this happened? Because for obviously years and years, Stinger was known for accessories. And suddenly you're in this segment. So maybe just give a little background on that.
Yeah, so Stinger's always been the high performance accessory line for the cardio industry for many, many years. And as the industry has evolved and as AAMP Global has grown and we have added other companies under our belts and things like that, we took on some of the engineering capabilities when we bought EchoMaster and Rosen, and the head unit engineers came along over with those brands. We've since sold off Rosen, but we kept those engineers and brought in a few other really high quality head unit engineers. We were big into rear seat video, and of course just progressed with the idea of, since we are such a powerhouse in the integration market, what if we could control the head unit and control the data bus and control the safety side of the vehicle and give you a single solution with all of our abilities encapsulated into one product? And that's pretty much where our head unit thought process came from. We didn't come into the head unit market to take over from all the other big players that are in the market. We came in because we have that engineering ability to make a product that's very solid, very user-friendly, and very connected in order to give a different option. That doesn't say, like in the Connected we had Wednesday night, we showed our universal integrated kits that work with anyone's radio. But these vehicle-specific integrated kits that we can control the entire environment, then we can't be touched. It's all us, all of our in-house engineering. It just kind of goes to show you the way in which AAMP Global, how we have progressed and transformed into a more, instead of a distributor like AAMP's been known for many years, we're really kind of honing in and being that engineering powerhouse that we've always had the capability of being, but now we're really showing the rest of the market how strong we are.
So in Canada, if you guys are tuning in, obviously for Canadian dealers, AAMP is distributed through Gentech or Automobility. So you have the choice of either or, whoever you're more comfortable with, who you want to do business with. Give them a call. You want more information, it's ampglobal.com, because now, we're about to dive deep. And Jeff, I want you to definitely point out every time there's a certain feature which you guys have been able to, come to the table with, which makes this setup so unique. All right?
Definitely will. All right.
Let's go ahead.
All right. You're going to flip over to the big screen. All righty. So what we're going to start here with, this is the Stinger High 10. The High 10 is a 10-inch multimedia system. It is going to give you the ability to have a standard single DIN installation, a double DIN installation, and a remote single DIN installation, because the unit is modular, which means the brain for the unit and the screen for the unit can be mounted in different locations. Out of the box, the unit comes with two 18-inch cables to separate the brain from the screen. As an additional accessory, you can go up to 5 feet away from the brain bin. You remember the old school flip-up head units back in the day that had a separate brain? So we have that ability as well as an optional cable up to 5 feet away. So it makes custom installations with the High 10 extremely user-friendly. Now, starting with the basics of the radio itself, of course, it's an AM/FM tuner, and it has all the modern inputs that you would want for a head unit. Of course, USB input, there's dual USB inputs, Bluetooth music streaming, A2DP. You have your Bluetooth hands-free calling capability. The unit has CarPlay and Android Auto built into it. So for a lot of those retailers out there who are struggling to find CarPlay and Android Auto radios right now, Gentech and Automobility can definitely provide them with the High 10 and maybe even some of the older Elevates to give CarPlay and Android Auto to a different ability from some of the other head units that are in shortage right now. We are Sirius satellite radio capable.
We like that here on CMA, that you're Sirius XM capable. Just saying.
100%. Sirius satellite radio ready through the SXVM 300. You can switch between CarPlay and iPod mode. So if you're only connecting an iPod, it's going to make the screen and the radio work more efficiently for an iPod. Camera inputs. Camera inputs are extremely important, Ben, because the head unit itself gives you the ability to add 4 cameras to the system But when we integrate it in with these vehicle-specific kits, such as this Jeep Wrangler, you can maintain the factory camera as well, and we'll get more into that later. A very robust settings menu. You can go in and really custom program and set this unit up for many different aspects. An HDMI input, so if you're going to use a mirroring capability from your iPhone with a camera adapter, or through the MHL or micro HDMI out from an Android device. And then we still have a standard AV input. Now, pair that, Ben, along with our integration capabilities and our plastics capabilities from all of our companies through PAC, through American International, and all the other companies under the umbrella. We now pair this guy with having the ability to have built-in navigation. If your customer doesn't want to use CarPlay or Android Auto, there's an option to plug in at the brain of the unit a SD chip from iGo Navigation, so you have full-time navigation. Blackout mode, so you can shut the display off if it's too bright at night, or if you just don't want the display on. You can also come back in, and now with the integration through PAC, we have the PAC Link port along with our Radio Pro Advanced modules to now tap into the vehicle's data bus and give you many different comfort features for your driver in the vehicle. And we'll get into some of the—
just before we continue, so just to be clear, because unfortunately we don't have a side-by-side, but the original setup in this vehicle, is it touchscreen control for climate?
No. So the original screen in the vehicle, it did give you a little bit of information on the screen about the climate controls here, but now that we have the ability to tap into the vehicle's data bus through our Radio Pro Advanced module and then back into the radio through our PAC Link port, now we have the ability to take all this information and put it on the user screen, the big 10-inch touchscreen capability for all of those capabilities.
Awesome.
All right, so let's go back up. And let's start with some of the most basic features. When you're in the radio itself, of course, you have your standard FM and AM bands, FM 1, 2, and 3, and your AM bands. But anytime you want to simply connect and go to any other source, you can press the home button and go back to any of those. Being that it's a PAC generated kit for the Stinger High 10, of course, your steering controls still work. They plug and play right into the vehicle's data bus for volume up and down, track up and down, source change, and muting, all from the steering controls. No cutting involved, Ben. This kit is completely plug and play. When people take this kit out of the box, they will see that there's literally no wires to be cut whatsoever. You simply mount the screen into the plastic housing for the radio to mount to the dash. The dash kit is extremely compact, where it takes the brain of the head unit, because it's modular, and mounts it at an angle within the bracketry that then bolts to the sub dash. Then you have your two connections to go down behind the glove box and tap into the CAN bus connections behind the glove box. You have a speaker to go under the driver's side of the dash. That speaker is where all of your chimes come from.
Right.
And since the chimes are built into the Radio Pro Advanced module, we have the ability to put the factory chimes in the vehicle, so you would never tell the difference between the factory head unit and our head unit when any of the warning chimes, safety chimes are going off, because we have those built into the Radio Pro Advanced module. The GPS antenna mounts up into the soundbar to make sure you have a clear view to the sky for your GPS GPS satellite signal if you're using the built-in iGo Primo capabilities. You also have the ability, Ben, to do quick presets here, or our tabs. And these tabs are customizable as well. So when you're on any preset, you could be on satellite radio, you just press up. You can customize these tabs to go to any screen that you would want to go into. So let's talk about going into the camera input, which is extremely important, Ben. So we have 4 camera inputs, and right now what you're seeing is, because we're in the shop, we're looking at the garage door. This is our EchoMaster PCAM 10FF, our front-facing camera that's built specifically for forward-facing vehicle applications, whether it's the Jeep Wrangler kit, whether it's a Chevy truck, a Dodge Ram, whatever. Very low lux night vision capability, so that camera works extremely well. We have our left and right blind spot cameras, and at any point in time, you can use the user interface to select any one of these cameras as you're driving down the road. That's our rear camera that retains the factory high definition camera from the factory. We don't supply you with the secondary camera. We don't make you take your factory camera off. We simply allow you to, through the HDMI input and through our HDMI camera module, our HD1, we pipe that high definition camera signal directly back through that HDMI input in the vehicle itself.
And that's included in the kit.
That is definitely included in the kit. Now, as you see, it went to a black screen that says, please connect to HDMI. If we're using the HDMI for the camera, what happens is on our HD1 module, we still give you a secondary input so that you can still use that HDMI input bin for mirroring your phone, plugging in a Fire Stick, Roku stick, or whatever you want, and still being able to use that HDMI input port. We do not take that feature away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very unique feature as well. Going back through the sources, you have an AV input. So if you're in a vehicle application outside of this Jeep and you want to be able to send a video signal out to a rear screen for your kids, for whoever else that may be in the backseat, whether it's headrest monitors or rear flip down, you have the ability to send that rear video signal out as well. Some of the more standard features in the settings menu bin, you definitely have your sound settings. Now, the sound settings are a very unique part of the head unit because we take a lot of our audio capabilities from the Phoenix Gold side of things and bring the high quality audio features into the head unit. You have your standard balance and fade. You have a 15-band graphic EQ that has up to 6 user presets, or you can set it to flat at any point in time in any of these applications and create these presets for different genres of music or different times when the doors are off, tops off, open, or whatever else. You can make all these different capabilities. Crossover is going to be separate outputs because the head unit has 3 sets of 4-volt outputs. You have a dedicated subwoofer output crossover control, rear crossover output control, and front. Now, Ben, when I say crossover output control, not only do you have adjustable slope from 6 to 18 dB, you have adjustable crossover frequency, but you also have adjustable crossover level. So not only do you have balance and fade capability, but you have full speaker level. So if you want to make sure the soundbar speakers aren't too loud and taken away from the front stage coming from your high quality drivers up front, you can still have the balance set in the middle and adjust the level through the crossover section.
And sub-control, so no knob required.
Exactly, and have separate presets for each one of those crossover capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we have all of that capability, Ben, we're going to make sure that if you want a very dialed in sound system, you have the ability to use time correction. Time correction is a big deal.
DSP?
It has a full DSP capability within the head unit itself. Remember, it's 6-channel output, so you have front, rear, and subwoofer capability. And from left to right, you have the ability to dial in your seating position by inputting in either milliseconds or inches into the menu itself. And then you can turn time correction off and on to make those adjustments. And you can have up to 6 presets for time correction as well. You can have a driver seating. You could have a front, rear, left and right passenger seating where it sounds more blended and well-rounded for both passenger and driver. Or you can have where you can shut it off, or if you have any people sitting in the back and things like that, you can totally go in and make this complete customization through the time correction setup.
Now, Jeff, for me, there'd only be 2 modes. There'd be selfish mode, and there'll be like, sure, have some tunes for now, but really I want selfish mode.
Yeah. Exactly. So if someone's a little, not familiar with how to exactly set up the 15-band EQ, of course, we give you a little bit of pointers. Your first 3 frequencies are your sub bass, your regular meat of the bass, low mid-range, your upper highs, and your treble or brilliance. We tell you exactly what these frequencies will do within your musical selection. But if you don't know how to set up an EQ, we do even have built inside, Ben, we have genre EQ curves already preset. You have a rock, you have a hip hop, electronic music, jazz, pop, or just set it back to flat. And when you go back, you'll see these EQ settings are already preset into the unit itself. So we give you lots of capabilities to dial the sound in as best as you want for your customer. Subwoofer level control and subwoofer phase. You can turn the subwoofer off and on. You also have the ability to go into advanced settings, Ben. This is where you're going to get some really unique features. If the system is an Alpine equipped vehicle, or if you're using an external DSP, you can go in and press the defeat button, Ben, and now you've just bypassed all of the audio settings in the head unit. So it makes this like an old school deadhead pure output to an external audio device, right?
So
if you're going to
So that would be perfect if I was putting in an aftermarket DSP amplifier or something of that
exactly.
nature.
What makes the aftermarket DSP even happier, Ben, is that we are the only production head unit in the US right now that is giving you a variable volume toss link output. So now you're going to have optical out, 2-channel out to your DSP for the cleanest, most precise audio signal you can feed into a DSP from this style of head unit.
Interesting.
Cool. And it's variable volume. It's not fixed level like how some of the others are. It's going to be variable volume. So as you turn the volume up and down with the optical, it's going to feed that same variable volume out to your DSP. Now, for your Bluetooth connectivity, you have the ability to either use an external microphone or you can use the internal microphone. There's a high quality noise canceling microphone built into the face of the unit. So that can actually decrease your installation time without you having to run a Bluetooth mic all the way up into the vehicle. Because in the Jeep, you have the top open, doors off, it can create a lot of outside road noise. When you're using the one built into the screen, it can make the install easier and faster. And it puts the microphone pretty close between the driver and the screen itself. So that's a very useful feature as well. Source gain settings, Ben, so that way if you have AM and FM or CarPlay or USB audio, one source being louder than the other, you can definitely go in and adjust these source levels to make them all sound like they're the same volume so that you don't have big volume differences when you're flipping through different sources.
I gotta say, Jeff, I don't know how deep you are so far, but I'm pretty impressed. I did not expect this level of adjustment, customization. Yeah, let's just keep going.
This is only the basics. Let me go really deep for you. This is only the basics. So we talked about being able to customize the illumination. So here you can't really see it because we have the lighting on, but we have the illumination set to red on the screen to match the aesthetics of the vehicle. Now remember, because we've set the illumination to red, everything else corresponding down the line will be red as well. You have the ability to set the dimmer through the display settings so that when you turn on the dimmer, of course, it dims the screen's brightness itself. Getting into custom backgrounds, you can use any of the custom backgrounds that are built into the unit itself, but then you can still add 3 of your own. So if you want to put a background Jeep logo, if you want to put a picture of your kids or your dogs or whatever else, you can, through the USB port, you can add a custom background for the head unit itself as well. Now, let's get into some of the camera settings, Ben, because this is very unique. Because of the culmination between the head unit and our Radio Pro Advanced module, tapping into the vehicle's data bus, we're going to tell the unit that we still have the factory camera, and we're going to set that to be our rear camera. So here we can go in, we can turn on the guidelines. So if you want to have dynamic parking lines, we can use those, or we can create fixed parking lines where they don't move. All of these settings can be adjusted here. If you add additional cameras, like we have our front camera, that's going to be camera 3. We have left and right blind spot cameras and triggers 1 and 2, and we can turn these triggers off and on. We have the ability to further go into our vehicle settings menu bin. Within the vehicle settings, we give you some of the factory functions that were in the OEM head unit, but now we replicate them on this screen. So we can change language in the vehicle. We can change the units where there's kilometers or miles. We can go further into our camera settings, setting up our driver assistance, putting it in, adjusting the beep level, parking sense volume levels, whether or not you want the cameras to act as if they're in a blind spot alerts and things like that. So many different features, Ben, that we build into this unit. Door lock control, your lights delay off and on. So all of the features that were used in the head unit from factory, we retain all those and bring them over into the unit.
So really, there's no sacrifice here.
There's no sacrifice, Ben, and we even give additional features. Now, Jeepers are really known for customizing their vehicles, Ben, and there's some features that some of the Jeepers don't like the auto start stop feature. You can go into pack enable settings, Ben, and you can disable the auto stop start. And you know how if you press the button from factory, as soon as you turn the engine off, it cycles that capability. When you do it through our dash kit, Ben, and you turn that on, that start stop feature will stay off permanently until you physically turn that switch off.
Oh, okay. Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
Right. So that eliminates the need for other additional peripherals that would bypass that start stop feature. It's value add into the kit itself. The SRK JW18EH kit has that built into the kit. That's not a radio function, Ben. That's a integrated
integration company. Right. Gotcha.
Correct. Exactly. Auxiliary switches. If your vehicle is a Jeep Wrangler that is equipped with the aux switches down here at the bottom of the dash bin, we can now go into those switches and tell them whether we want them to be ignition driven or powered all the time from the battery, and whether those will be latched or momentary. So we can control all of those through the radio's capabilities in the user interface as well.
And that's capable, just to be clear, because of the integration piece that connects to the CAN bus.
Exactly. This is exactly what the PAC Radio Pro Advanced module and the radio and the PAC Link PAC Link port that brings all of that information into the head unit. So within the vehicle bin, the kit comes with everything that you need. So literally you bring the Jeep in, you take a high 10, you take the SRK JW18EH kit, and you partner those two together. Everything you need is in the box. The only thing you would need to add is if the customer is going to add your left and right blind spot cameras or add a front camera. If this was a Jeep Gladiator, which this works in the Jeep Gladiator as well, the Gladiator has a factory front camera option, Ben. So you would have a factory front camera, a factory reverse camera.
And still have 2 auxiliaries.
No, sir. You still have 4 auxiliary camera
the
inputs.
Factories don't count in your auxiliary
because
camera
the factories
inputs.
do not count. The factories
Gotcha.
do not take away from the camera capabilities, Ben.
So just a real quick question from an ADAS perspective. Those blind spot cameras, do they activate auto when you go for the clicker, the signal?
As soon as let's go back to one of the screens, Ben. If we're in the radio screen and I put on my left turn signal, it's I have to go back and set it up. The vehicle has to be completely on. But yes, it will automatically generate
an image,
the left and right turn signal. So if I'm driving and I put on my left turn signal, it would automatically go to left. If I'm driving and I put it on
and that would override whatever's playing, whatever's on the screen.
Exactly. All right. Your front camera, when you go to slow down and you go below 5 miles per hour, the front camera will automatically populate the screen to let you see what you're pulling into a parking spot, pulling into your garage, or whatever else, so that you can see what you're pulling into. Another very unique feature, Ben, is called Park Assistance. When you turn Park Assistance on, Park Assistance then, when you are going from forward and reverse with the VSS connected through the system, it will go from the reverse camera to the front camera, and at low speeds, it was going to show you, according to steering angle, your left and right cameras as well. So it really helps you be able to park into a very small, tight spot with a big Jeep, so you don't hit anything else around you.
Man, I just saw a button, but I'm going to wait for you to touch it. It's called
Exactly.
off-road. Okay. Keep going.
We're going to come back and talk about that button here in a few minutes. Let's see. Let's go further down into is there anything else in settings? Let's see. Camera settings, the tabs. Let's talk about the tabs. So you can go in and customize up to the 7 tabs when you're in any source other than CarPlay and Android Auto, because when you're in CarPlay and Android Auto, they completely take over the screen. So any other source, when you're in those, you can always press the up arrow to bring up these custom tabs. So here, stock, out of the box, it's set to radio, favorites, Bluetooth music, camera, phone, iPod, and audio. But what we can do, Ben, is we can come into the settings menu, go to the tab screen, and since we're probably going to be using USB frequently, we can swap your favorites for USB. Since we're probably, you may not use Bluetooth, you may use CarPlay and Android Auto more frequently, we're going to get rid of Bluetooth music, and we're going to bring the HDMI input because you may be streaming video from
just
the
like
HDMI
that.
port. Right?
Just like that.
Right,
Wow.
just like that. We're going to get rid of the iPod feature, and we're going to bring in your settings menu. Or if you want to get rid of the audio because you've already made your adjustments, you don't need to get back into the audio very frequently. We're going to bring in our vehicle function, vehicle info screen. So now we're going to go into the radio function bin. And when we want to go into any of those, now they're completely changed for any time you want to customize those tabs for quick, easy access to up to 7 different things at any point in time, other than in CarPlay and Android Auto. So very unique capabilities. Now, Ben, let's get into some of the fun stuff. The stuff that's really going to set us apart from some of the other guys out there. We have built our own apps and own screens within this unit so that when you want to go into the climate control bin, you simply press the climate control screen, and now you have that mimics the interior of the Jeep, right?
Okay.
You have the ability to, you can see real world changes in the system when you turn the blower motor up and down, when you adjust your temperature, real time, whether it's synced or you have dual zone capability. All of this is retained in the head unit. Your seat heater.
Sorry,
Yes,
Jeff.
sir.
Sorry. Dude, hold on. Stop. Does this vehicle have auto climate control factory?
This vehicle does have factory auto climate controls, and this is one of the things that is required for this to come up on the screen. If the customer's Jeep does not have the auto,
that's my question. Yeah,
correct. If it doesn't have the automatic climate controls, this does not populate the screen.
Okay,
they can still operate their climate controls, but you don't get the benefits of the user interface without those auto climate controls.
Gotcha.
Okay. So everything works just like factory. Front and rear defrost. You can set your climate control settings for whether or not you want to adjust how fast the blue cool arrows turn on or the heating arrows turn on. You can adjust this. So as you see, when it's set to cool, you have the blue arrows get bigger as the fan temperature speed goes up. You can also touch the screen at any point in time to adjust this as well. So here's another neat feature, Ben. Let's go back to the radio. When you're on the radio, any other feature, when you adjust your climate controls, it's going to automatically populate the bottom fourth of the screen to let you know exactly what you're doing at any point in time. So you don't have to always flip back over to your climate control. It's going to populate the screen itself.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's pretty cool, right?
Not gonna lie, that's pretty sick. I haven't seen that yet.
Here is where the Jeep customers, if they haven't already been wowed by everything that's capable in this kit for the high 10 for their vehicle bin, when you press that button, the vehicle info button, Ben, that's when the magic happens.
Just press the button already. I've been waiting for you to press that button.
When you go into the vehicle info screen, this is where all of the other data information is going to come into play. You get the ability to now connect into a way with your vehicle that is so glamorous and tuned in and dialed in, Ben. It's extremely amazing. Tire pressure information, of course, you always want to know your tire pressure when you're off-road wheeling or driving down the road. You have the ability to tell when the hatch is open, when any door is open. I'm going to open my driver's door here. You see instantly it lets you know when the doors are open. Ben, since this is a Jeep, what do Jeepers do during the summertime?
They take doors off, roof off.
Yep. When you take your doors off and so forth and it literally shows you that the doors are off the vehicle.
Because it knows.
Because it's all done through the CAN bus system, through the data bus, right? So when you disconnect the harnesses in your kick panels, it shows you exactly that the doors have been removed from the vehicle. So it's not going to show you open and close. It just knows that the doors have been removed.
Like, I know the passenger is open because that's where your light and camera's coming through, and I know your trunk's open. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And the hatch is open because that's where we were with the whips in the back.
Gotcha.
Tire steering angle, so you can see that adjust as well. We're here in Florida. We're in very low altitude, so we have an altitude adjustment. And then, of course, we have our longitude and latitude, and you know that your transmission is in the two-wheel drive high. And if you want to be able to get into your cameras at this point, Ben, you can get into your off-road screens from any of these screens, right? So I'm going to come back because I don't want to jump ahead too far. So now you want to know about custom information in your vehicle. Let's go into the gauge screen. Oh, one thing before we go away from here, Ben. The other feature is that if there's a check engine code, because you've been in the vehicle, you've disconnected the seat, disconnected the battery, you've done all this customizations to your Jeep, it will bring up on the screen the check engine icon, and you can press that icon and it will give you a code. You can't necessarily always clear every code, but you have the ability to bring that check engine light up and it gives you a code on the screen.
At least to make you aware of what the code is.
At least to make you aware of what that code is. Now let's get into the gauges. Now, Ben, do you notice the color of the gauges?
They're all red because you set them in the red setting.
Exactly. So if I were to come back out here, go up into our settings menu, go back into illumination. If this was a vehicle where I wanted to set them all to green, then I would come back here, go down, vehicle info, go back into guess what? Now they're green.
Mm-hmm.
So
along with the buttons on the bottom, like the home, Ford, and
exactly.
Gotcha.
So that customization illumination carries over through all the other menus as well, so that the aesthetics of the vehicle stay constant all the way through. Mm-hmm. Now you have 8 different gauges here, Ben. So you can customize these gauges to be whatever you want, and simply by tapping them, this is ignition timing. Your average customer may not want to know about ignition timing, but your gearheads, your real off-roaders, they may need to know this because they've done engine upgrades and things like that. Transmission temp, coolant temp, battery voltage, intake manifold, fuel pressure, oil pressure, coolant. Ben, is there anything else you want to know? Guess what? You simply tap that, and now there's engine runtime. You tap this one, that's coolant temp. You tap coolant temp, change it to air intake. You can keep tapping these and moving these around to customize them, Ben, to any of the possibilities. But
I got nothing to say. Keep going.
There's only 8 gauges, right? So what if you wanted more, Ben?
What?
Go to preset 2. You have 8 more on top of that. 16 gauges available to your Jeeper at any point in time through the customizable gauge screen. Now, that's really unique in the fact that we try to give your customer the most amount of information, more information that they actually need to just drive back and forth to the grocery store, mall crawl, or anything else. But for those people that really live and breathe and take their Jeep into their real extremes, Ben, we have performance screens, because a lot of people are concerned about 0 to 60, their braking capability. We keep all of that into the screen because they do offer, the new upgraded Hemi capabilities, and Jeep and Dodge have always been all about performance. So we make sure you keep all of those performance capabilities. Now, for the off-road crowd, Ben, this is what really wins them over. You have a pitch and roll screen. This tells you exactly how far you're going to, when you're off-road wheeling, when your vehicle is, rolling over rocks or ditches and creeks and so forth, and then your rollover, your degree. So if I sit here and rock the vehicle back and forth, you may see it move or may not.
Where's the gyro? Is the gyro built into the unit?
This is information that comes from the CAN bus in the vehicle.
Really?
And since we created these screens, we have the ability to now replicate this information on the screen of the head unit. So this screen is extremely important to those Jeepers when they're off-road wheeling, so they know the limitations of their vehicle as they're, going over all these obstacles. So you need to know how far you're going before you flip over, before you flip forward, things like that. Your navigation heading, your altitude, your latitude, longitude, coordinates, all that information is on this screen. Now, drivetrain, whether you're in two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, your tire angle, your steering angle, you see your wheels move at the same time. Transfer case information, whether or not your rear axles are locked or unlocked. Sway bar information. Ben, I know you're not an off-roader.
How do they know if a sway bar is connected? I'm just mind blown right now.
This is all through the data bus in the vehicle.
That is nuts.
It's all connected, and it tells you whether or not you have all of these peripherals adjusted to your needs for off-road capability, right? So any of this, and then you can go in and go into even more. You can adjust, since most Jeepers are going to go with larger tires, bigger, tires need to adjust air pressure. You can adjust your tire pressure capability, so you know when it's low for your setting. You have to adjust your GPS capability. Off-road camera, so you can set it to any of the 4 cameras if the vehicle's equipped, right? So here we have it set for rear. So when you're in your off-road screen, you can press the camera button and it will show you your rear camera and automatically populate your off-road information on top of your camera. So if you're wanting to keep up with a trail mate and be able to see what's going on around you, you can do that from the screen. Now we can go back to that same setting. Let's go back and come back here and go into user settings. Now we're going to change that off-road camera bin to the front camera. So when we are now in the off-road screens, we can press the camera now, and we're going to see that along with the front camera.
Dude,
pretty neat, right?
I mean, it's not just that. It's the thought that has gone into what these specific enthusiasts demand and want. If, you
Exactly.
know, for dealers who've now had this training, if you've been on watching this live with us, or if you're watching this on demand, and if you are connected to that Jeep community and you don't have one of these and there's display to show them these crazy features, you have to show them, because once you show them, I think, Jeff, you can agree with me in this next statement, Jeepers, you know, the price dissolves away quickly once the features are established.
100%, Ben. You look at the other options that are out there in the marketplace and you go dollar for dollar, feature for feature. We can't be beat, Ben. The combination and the connectivity, the ease of installation, the feature set between us and any of the other players in the market, Ben, cannot be beat. 10-inch screen, high definition screen, factory retention of the HD camera input, using the factory camera, adding up to 4 additional camera inputs, CarPlay, Android Auto, dual USB capability, Bluetooth audio streaming, Bluetooth phone call retention, steering wheel control retention, whether the vehicle has the factory Alpine amplified system or not, aftermarket amplifier capability, variable volume toslink output, 3 sets of high voltage RCA output, internal 50x4 high powered speaker outputs, remote brain mount.
I can't believe you can remember all that stuff. There's so
I mean,
that's
I'm
crazy.
the director of training. I have to know.
I guess you have to, yeah.
Right. So, Ben, this is one of those things that people really don't understand how amazing this head unit is. But when you pair it along with our integrated kits that are
next level
between Stinger and Pack, it takes it above and beyond
next level.
Anything else out there. But Ben, remember, so we have this for the Jeep Wrangler.
You're right.
We also have this integrated solution with almost the same suite of vehicle information for the Dodge Ram. So that's the SRK Ram 13H.
That was newly released, wasn't it? That's the new release for this year.
Newly released. Mm-hmm. And then we're also going to be bringing this down line sometime in the future. I don't want to give exact dates. We're looking at bringing this, whatever data we can bring to the screen in the Jeep JK. And we can also think about bringing this in the future to the GM platform for the Silverado Sierra. So all that's coming down the road, Ben. But we just kind of wanted to give some information and a little behind the scenes and give the people who haven't had opportunity to install one of these head units and really get a real world feel for what AAMP Global, Stinger, and Pack, EchoMaster, Phoenix Gold can do when we put our enormous engineering capabilities to work and create a product that is second to none in our industry.
Deadly combo. Jeff, let's put you back on in your main cam so we can see you.
All right, 1 sec.
Yeah, no worries. All right, there you are. Okay, I don't have a lot of time, but I always like to give my 2 cents. Whether you like it or not, I'm giving to you anyways. So number one, I am blown away by the amount of features that this unit has. You know, to call it a source unit is almost underselling it because it does a lot more than just give you source inputs. It is a fully integrated solution that elevates your experience as a driver, as a passenger, and adds a whole world of additional features and accessories that were not possible before. While, and this is the kicker, I can't believe how much it maintains and with zero sacrifice all the onboard features that come factory from the vehicle. And then taking that and enhancing it with the GUI and with the display specific to the Jeep market, you know, it's a small thing, right? Okay,
here's the big thing, Ben. Remember this: it's completely plug and play.
Yeah, that was my last point. No soldering required.
Nothing. No wires cut. No damage
no
to the vehicle.
Cut, no tapping.
Completely plug and play.
No broken panels.
Nothing.
So what would you say, as from an installer standpoint? Put that kit, that pack kit, that with how long to install?
I always tell people the very first time, give yourself a little bit more time, right? I would say for the first one, give yourself about 3 hours.
Okay.
And that's a little bit of a buffer, right? So you can read the instructions,
which you should.
Watch a video or two that's on our YouTube page, because we go through the complete instruction capabilities, all the demo features on our AAMP Global YouTube page. But give yourself about 3 hours. And then as you get more acclimated to installing these kits, Ben, you should be able to get a kit installed in about an hour and a half.
Then you want to watch back this video. So
right.
Be an expert on how to use it.
Down to an hour. Yep.
Watch this video back, be an expert on how to use it, and then show it to a customer, and then reap the benefits from that sale.
100%. That intro video, Ben, is on the YouTube page. All the feature benefits, all the installation capabilities, all right there for you.
Real quick, I'm throwing up the numbers here. AAMP products in Canada. You got two choices. You can call Gentech, or you can call Automobility. I don't think Jeff minds which one you call. I think they're both equally important.
These radios in stock, Ben, so if they need
that is, and I was just going to say that, with the shortages in so many categories, head units being one of them, of course, that's no secret. Guys, if you're paying attention, these units are available. So call Automobility, call Gentech. If you have a customer, you can get out the door the awesome 10-inch unit with these kind of features. Numbers are below. Dude, this is one of my favorite sessions we've done so far.
Yes, sir, definitely.
I am now forbidding you to sit at a desk during our sessions. I don't care where you are, it ain't going to be at a desk. This is way cooler. Way cool. Maybe we could look at your Fab Shop next time.
Yeah, maybe when we do some of the Stinger and PG stuff, we'll go into Fab Shop.
Yeah, I would. I know, I appreciate it for selfish reasons. But anyhow, so there you have it. AAMP, Stinger, Pack, Echo Master, Phoenix Gold, all blended into this demo vehicle. You've seen the whips, lights. You've seen the rock lights. You've seen all the lighting controls in the back. We've seen that. You know what? We didn't pay enough attention to it, but I thought that was really slick, that enclosure on the back tailgate. You know what I mean? It's a great solution. It gives you a lot of space.
It's coming later this year.
Oh, okay. So it's coming soon. All right. Fair enough. And that comes preloaded with the Phoenix Gold sub, right?
Preloaded. It's a Stinger enclosure, multi-layer composite enclosure that bolts to the rear door, doesn't take away any space and things like that. It's a very slim enclosure. Sealed, very good sound quality, lots of output, top up, top down, top off. It's a great solution.
And last but not least, here's my question I'm going to leave you with. This obviously we're showing today a very integrated vehicle specific scenario for the high 10. What about for regular applications?
For regular applications, Ben, no matter the type of vehicle, you still have the high 10 itself available in the marketplace. There may even still be some Elevates in the marketplace, the 8-inch version. All the same features: CarPlay, Android Auto, USB, dual USB, HDMI, optical, variable volume optical, steering wheel control capability built into the head unit or external through a pack module. It's a universal head unit, Ben. First and foremost, it can fit in a double DIN location. When you stack the display mounting bracket along with the radio module, it'll fit into a standard ISO DIN location, whether it's with the kit or not. Single DIN applications can be done two different ways. You can mount the brain remotely up to 18 inches away with the cables that are in the box, or additional optional cables up to 5 feet away from the unit itself. You can buy a flush bucket to flush it into custom trim panels or to do any type of custom fabrication. The unit is completely universal, Ben, just like any other head unit in the market. And I think that's where most people get confused, is because they've never had a modular head unit the way that we do ours, because it truly gives a high quality installation with multiple different capabilities. So there is no head unit that this car will not fit into. It can have a custom mount, factory mount, standard dash kits from any manufacturer. We made sure that this is going to be a head unit that's available for anyone, Ben.
That's what I want to hear. Jeff, awesome job, buddy. Thank you so much for the effort.
Appreciate
and
it, we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon enough.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Jeff Smith over at AAMP Global. What an awesome session. I love it when they get into the shop like that. I know I learned a lot. I hope you guys learned a lot with me. That was the new Stinger's High 10. Obviously, that took up a lot of our video, but I think that was well worth it. Guys, I want to wish everybody a great long weekend up here in Canada. I know myself, I'm looking forward to it as myself, but we'll be back after the long weekend with another Connected next Wednesday. So on that note, thanks for tuning into CMA Connected, presented by Sirius XM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.